Why, hi there, right? Okay, yes, why, hi there, I'm Ron Chuckett, and this is a different kind of video. I haven't done a taped one of these in a while. Um, from Retro Sports Network, of course, doing a replay offline. I don't think I'm going to actually put any of the, maybe one or two games of this online, but for the most part, I'm just playing this for my own pleasure because if you're a sports fan, there are things that you're kind of masochistic about. Even all the featured teams have bad times. The Yankees, Notre Dame, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Los Angeles Lakers. There were times that they all sucked. So it's not like everyone's got 130,000 years of measured success. I took advantage. Let me start from the beginning here. For a while, I've been looking for a way to squeeze in a modern replay. Not like I said, not necessarily to show, but for my own enjoyment. I still like baseball. I still watch quite a bit of it. I covered the Washington Nationals for almost 2 seasons. Certainly 2 postseasons. Um, Watched a lot of spring training games, and like I enjoy baseball. Um, but playing baseball in a modern sense is a whole different kettle of fish from the games that you normally see on my channel. It's a whole different game now. And I also wanted to do something that was kind of calming in cards and dice. I truly, truly enjoy action PC baseball. I get a kick out of it. I think it plays very well. I think it gives a hell of a show. But there's something kind of using the imagination of cards and dice that gives sports a different, you have to use your imagination. So I wanted to combine the two. And when Strat came out with their stuff for 2018, I almost went and bought that particular season until I saw the price with the card image, and it was $60, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Because the 2018 Red Sox, I'm sure, are going to be something I'm going to want to replay at some point. 108 wins. Oh my goodness, yes. But I didn't. So I was looking around, and Pete Rivera at Replay, who I hope feels better soon, had most of his, like the last 5 seasons, on sale for $19 a piece or $20 a piece from 25. And so I picked up 2013 and 2017. Really, if you're looking at the title order, I'm actually going to talk about the replay. It's coming. And so I picked up 2013 for the Red Sox and 2017 because I have a deep affection for the Washington Nationals. I truly, truly do. And so I wanted to do that. And so, if you're going to play a PC game, I figured it's easy just pick another team. And so I'm doing a full 162 game replay with not only the Washington Nationals, but the Houston Astros, who they train with down in Florida, because Houston is just so much fun and there's so much offense. And they were the deserved world champions in 2017. And I thought until the Red Sox beat them in the American League Championship Series this past year that Houston was the best team in baseball this year. And in fact, I would not be surprised if the Houston Astros went back to the World Series this coming October. But anyway, so that's what I chose. I'm going to do a full 162 with the Astros and the Capitals and the Nationals. Now, there's some caveats, of course, to a modern replay as opposed to, what I'm doing on the channel 82, or what you might be doing from whatever. Because these seasons are fresh in people's minds still, individual games are still, at least fresh in my mind for what happened. And because you know how a season ended, doesn't mean that you remember what happened necessarily along the way. And so when you see that player X is struggling or whatever, or it's not indicative of what they were doing at the particular time, because we all look at it at the perspective of what's their final season numbers, and that's how the cards are made, and blah, 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 blah. By the way, I said I'm using replay, and at some point, you can go ID Jester. That wonderful channel will actually have, I believe, a look at how replay is played. And like I said, there might be some point I go through and do a couple, one day a Washington game and then a Houston game using replay. But it's a cards and dice. What's the best way to describe it? There's good interaction with on all three things. It's a 6x6 matrix, and then there's plenty of supplemental rules. So I would call it, for a cards and dice game, advanced. It's not simple. Read the result, go to the rules. There's fielding checks, there's steal checks, and all that. And of course, the other thing what I wanted to talk about with a modern game, as opposed to, let's say, 82, what I'm doing, or what most of you play between the 60s and the 80s, is the bullpens require a lot more work. That's where the managing comes in. You got to keep, because there is fatigue and endurance issues with a lot of these pitchers, you got to keep on top of your bullpens. And in Washington's case, you are choking and choking early, and you're choking often until the trades get better in July. So that's where the headaches come in. And it just is like, you got a good game engine when you can sit there and pull one of these things and you're pulling your hair out. And I remember watching these first week of games from 2017, and you're going, this bullpen is terrible. What's going on? Well, because everything is based on what happened in the season, this bullpen is the Rocky Horror Picture Show between now and June. So that's a sign of a good sim, is that you're sitting there sucking your thumb going, I want my mommy after a game. All right, okay, that's enough of the preamble. Let's actually get to how these two teams did the first week of the season. Okay, the Washington Nationals are 3-3 after the first week. You can see that the Philadelphia Phillies beat them 3 straight. They took 3 from Miami, and then they got nailed by Philadelphia by 3. Let's go through some of the basics. They've scored 28 runs, which is mid-pack. They're hitting .264, which is mid-pack. They're getting on base at a .330 clip, which is mid-pack. They can hit home runs, man. They hit 9 the first week. In fact, they hit their fair share of home runs against Philadelphia. They can steal. They stole 7 bases. As you can see there on the screen, Trey Turner swiped 3. Yep, 3 his first week. Anthony Rendon with 2. Adam Eaton, we're going to lose him in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. He has 1. Pitching, that bullpen will get you to drink Budweiser faster than you can say Blake Trinan. The ERA is 11th at 4.94. That's in the National League. Their whip is 1.59. They just can't keep hitters off base, and they're hittable. And that bullpen is just crap. But I'm not worried. It's 3 against St. Louis and then 3 at home, and that includes the Jeremy Gullickson game. Let me call up, see what we can do here. Okay, opening series against Miami. They won 3-1 behind Gio Gonzalez on opening day. No, Steven Strasburg, beg your pardon. They won game 2, 8-5, and they won the third game 9-3 against Miami. Hitting wise, it was all pretty good. They hit .304 as a team. Spanky made his debut, 5 of 14, 2 doubles, a stolen base, hit .357. Bryce Harper with 2 home runs, but the thing that frustrates me the most with Bryce, and it frustrated me most when I covered the team, which kind of goes to how good the game engine is look at his strikeouts. He struck out 6 out of 13 times. Yeah, he hit 2 homers and drove in 4, which is nice, but he struck out 6 times. No one else struck out that much. Ryan Zimmerman's going to have a great year, I know that. Trey Turner got 2 stolen bases on opening day, but again, you'll see when we get to the Phillies. Strikeout city. And Jason Worth hit pretty well. Pitching-wise, I mean, you can't do much better than that. 3 games at ERA of 3. Steven Strasburg went 7, struck out 10. Tanner Roark went 7 and got the win, struck out 5. And Gio Gonzalez struck out 11 and in his 7 innings. Didn't allow an earned run. The bullpen, well, Cody Glover got 2 saves, 2 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and no strikeouts, but he didn't blow any games. I decided that I was going to go. I thought Glover should have gotten out of spring training that year anyway. I'm not a big fan of bullpen by committee, and so Trinan and Kelly are going to set up, and Kelly, of course, gave up a home run immediately, if not sooner. Trinan pitched well in his 1 inning of that series, and you can see how the rest of it went. Joe Blanton pitched like crap, but still, 2, 4, 6 innings and 4 earned runs for the bullpen. But it's Miami, and they really weren't. They had to come back in the second game to win, but they won the third easily, and you're kind of cruising along, and they did what you're supposed to do. When this offense is clicking, man, does it ever click. 20 runs in 3 games and 31 hits. I mean, this was a team that scored 10 runs so many times that all the fast food vendors who gave this, free fries and Chick-fil-A and all that for 10 runs had to stop because they were just giving it too much away. 7 doubles and not bad. Well, not good either. They struck out more than they got hit, so that's 30% of the time. But they did hit 304 as a team. And so, like the curly-haired girl, when it's good, it's very, very good. But when it's bad, it's horrid. And this Philly series was just some kind of terrible. Okay, Adam Eaton can hit 3 for 12. Bryce Harper got 2 home runs. Remember, they lost all 3 games, 3-2 in the opener, 9-4 in the Jeremy Guthrie game. We'll get to that in a minute. And 7-2, Steven Strasburg got the snot kicked out of him in the finale. They were outscored 19-8, and they made 4 errors. Let's see. They only struck out 18 times in 99 at-bats, so they made contact, but they didn't make good contact. Let's see. Were there any other offensive stars? Yeah, Ryan Zimmerman went 4 for 9. I believe he started all 3. No, he came off the bench in the Sunday game. Adam Lynn finally got a start because it was a lefty versus lefty. But when they can't score, Philly held them to 8 runs. Daniel Murphy struck out 4 times. Jason Worth in the Sunday game struck out with the bases loaded and 2 out. Nothing drives me more nutty than a batter who strikes out and with runners in throwing position. There, I feel better. Bryce Harper had a 2 home run game, hit 300 against the Phillies. Stats look better than what he did. Rendon, I mean, there's nothing there that goes, oh yeah, you played well despite everything. Max Scherzer, kind of one of those games that kind of drives you batty. They couldn't get any offense. That was the 3-2 opener. And they just didn't give him any support, and he got you 7, but it was a rough 7. He put 8 base runs, he walked 3, and just kept dancing out of trouble. He struck out 11. I mean, on a stat sheet, it looks okay, but that's one of those ones that when you were playing, you're going, oh, stop. Steven Strasburg got hammered on a game that they needed him to go 7 innings. My thought on those sort of things. The logic is if you're coming from a 70s or 80s perspective that you expect your aces to go all the way. You just can't do that here. So when I sit down and play a modern game of baseball, like any time in the last 5 years or so, I want my starter to go 7. If he can go 7, then I only need to use generally 2 men on my bullpen, or if I'm on the road, no. Anyway, it's going to save on bullpen usage is what I want to do. I know I'm not going to get 7 innings out of everything, but if I can get 7 innings 3 times through, then my bullpen's going to be in good shape, and I can my team has a good chance of winning. Back to the stats. So Strasburg on that Sunday game got Christmas treat, 5 2/3 innings. 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned. I mean, it's going to happen. There's not much you can do about that. But it just makes it very frustrating, and the Phillies just took full advantage. Joe Blanton roughed up 2 runs in 2 1/3 innings. Doesn't show the home runs, I don't think. Jeremy Guthrie, that was the game he gave up 10 runs in the first. That was a Saturday game. Ricky, if you even ever watched this, 2 innings, 6 hits. He got 6 outs, and that's all you were looking for. You knew that was going to be there. And then Sammy Solis and Eddie Romero were forced to go 2 just to get there. Bullpen, we won't go through the urine. It was crap. Matt Albers pitched the Sunday game. He came up when Guthrie was given his unconditional release. He was the star of the Washington bullpen for the year, and of course he gives up 2 runs to the Phillies. So 19 earned runs in 24 innings gives you an ERA of 7.13. No saves, no complete games, and the starters went 14 2/3 innings in 3 games. That's just not going to get it done. And Washington's bullpen is a nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Like I said, the strikeouts weren't as bad as I thought. They drew 9 walks, but this team cannot hit with runners in scoring position. Just as terrible. And I won't show you that. So let's go on to Houston. Well, before we go on to Houston, Ryan Zimmerman's hitting 403. Bryce Harper has 4 home runs and 7 RBI. Still driving me nuts. Gio Gonzalez has yet to allow an earned run. He will go twice in the next week. He and Tanner Roark, who is a better pitcher than when people gave him crap for. Steven Strasburg has 16 strikeouts and threw 12 and 2/3 innings. And so most of what you see for Washington, they will get better and this team was snake bit with injuries, but pitching, oh my God, that'd drive you to drink. They're going to be fine. They're 2 games out in the National League East after 1 week. 3-3, you'll take it and run. I love me some Houston Astros. 7 games at home. They played Seattle, and then took 2 out of 3 from Kansas City. They won 4-2, 9-6, and 5-4. And I just, like I said, just love this team to pieces. Against Seattle, they won 4-2, 9-6. Seattle took the 3rd game 6-3, and Houston took the 4th game 5-4. And as you can see there from the pitching between Keuchel, Morton, McCullers, and Joseph Musgrove, who got the spot start, 3 of them pitched into 7 full. In fact, Keuchel and Morton threw into the 8th and didn't get a decision. As a team, they can hit. Oh my gosh, they hit 262 as a team. George Springer, 2 home runs, 4 RBI, 6 for 17. Brian McCann smashed 2 home runs. So much fun. Yuriski Gurriel, who cannot field to save his life, did pop a homer and 3 doubles. He had 333 on the week. Jose Altuve, I want 9,000 of him on my team. Only hit 231, but he stole 3 bases. I'll take that in New York second. 6 home runs, 4 RBIs. Just overall, they're just such a solid, fun team to play, and they're deep. Only 5 played all 4 games of the series. And let's see, strikeout wise, yeah, they struck out 25 times. Carlos Correa, but if you're producing, if you can put the ball into play with runners on base and not striking out, I will look the other way. And Marwin Gonzalez did not strike out. And Gurriel only struck out once. Those are my heroes. Pitching wise, as I said, they can start and they can go deep into games. They only walked 7 and struck out 35 as a unit. Ken Giles is going to give me angina attacks. He only pitched the once, did not get a save. He got the win, as a matter of fact. Houston did not land a save. Will Harris had 2 rough outings. That will come back. Tony Sipp is the loogie. He pitched twice. But again, that's, we call him the bullpen. Brad Peacock got lit up, I believe, once, but it's early. So you'll take that in a heartbeat. Against the Royals, they lost the Friday game 7-5 and came back to win over the weekend 5-1 and 2-1. They made 3 errors. They have 9 in 7 games, which is not great. But law of averages will come out. And that really hurt some of the other pitchers. But starters-wise, I had a complete game. How about that, Clinton Keuchel threw? In fact, that was a double complete game. Danny Duffy threw an inning complete game for Kansas City. 9 innings, 3 hits, and struck out 7. McCullers came back in the Sunday game and threw 8. And so, why not? Over the weekend, their ERA was 3. And we still haven't had a save chance yet. Giles has only pitched the once. Mike Fears, not great. That wasn't great. 4 1/3, 8 hits, but he did strike out 6. Gustav came in to 8 a couple innings there, and Brad Peacock will pitch better as we go along. Will Harris had his one inning was shaky, and Davinsky got the win in the Sunday game because Alex Bregman hit the walk-off home run. Usually ace versus ace, it's tough. And the Royals are not a terrible team in 2017. They're not a great team, but they're not horrible. Hitting wise, let's see. No one struck out more than twice. I'll take that. Gurriel with 2 more home runs, 2 solo shots. Like I said, Bregman with a walk-off on Sunday. They hit the ball, okay, 245 for the weekend. Altuve, though, 455 against the Royals. 5 singles, an RBI. They're just a fun team overall. Anything else that kind of grabs my fancy there? So Gurriel and Bregman scored 3 times. So the 12 runs in 3 games, and they got them 2 wins. So they are 5-2 and in first place in the American League West. So it's a 5-game week ahead for the Astros. They go to the coast to play 3 in Seattle. They've still not had a day off this year, so they'll start playing with 10 straight games. Then they get a day off, and it must have rained on that Sunday because no one takes an off day for a Sunday. So it's 3 in Seattle and 2 in Oakland. And so Charlie Morton goes once. Musgrove gets his second start, and Fears will start the finale against Seattle. It's Keuchel, and I got to look how to pronounce his name, and McCullers again. So I would say that, Houston's in pretty good shape. Oakland's 5-2, but it's early. And like I said, they did a good job with Seattle. As far as runs scored, middle of the pack in offense, pitching will do that, though. I mean, they're third in ERA with a 3.23, second in WHIP with 103. That's second in baseball. And the batting average against a 225. You're going to win a lot of those games when you are keeping other people off the team. Altuve's hitting 333 after the first week. And Springer, Gurriel, and McCann with 3 home runs. Gurriel and McCann won't keep that up all year. Springer with 5 RBI, the leadoff spot. And Altuve is just my hero. McCullers and Keuchel, good ERAs. Morton with a 2.45. And overall, you just can't do much better than that. Peacock will come back in. Gregerson and Davinsky are good setup men. And so is Harris. So I'm not worried about the bullpen coming in. It's a relatively easy division. Oakland's halfway decent, but they gave up halfway through. I mean they get Blake Trinan at some point. That will be good. So overall 5-2. You take that all at home, and like I said, 5-game road trip coming in before Mike Trout and the Angels come in for week 3. And so I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to do this every week, but I will do one for every week of the season. You get bored and play other things and life pops in there. But yeah, so I'm playing this one offline. So I thought I would do a Tribes Fan 816 type summary video and show you that. And like I said, I'm probably not going to go out of my way to make a point to show you any games of this replay, but we'll probably throw 1 or 2 in at some point. Playing modern baseball, as long as you understand that modern baseball is bullpen management, and that your starters can, if you think that your starters, push for your starters to go 7, and don't overuse your bullpen, you're going to find that it's enjoyable and outs and out. And yeah, I don't like strikeouts either, especially with runners on base. But that's what happens, and there's still doubles, and there's still strategy, and sometimes you can bunt and all that. And that's, for me, it's a good mix because you get American League style ball with Houston, which sounds kind of weird, and National League style ball with Washington, which also sounds weird. So you get the DH for some, and you get the purity that people for others, and these are all as played lineups. And so that should take care of it. Hope you enjoyed. And like I said, once I get another 7 game days in the books, I will do another video. And so until then, I'm Ron Juckett. Smash that like button, subscribe. We do 3 live baseball games a week using Action PC Baseball, along with some basketball and other things. So I'm Ron Juckett. We'll talk to you the next time.